Hey y'all, welcome back. I recently sat down to watch James Gunn Superman. I gave it a fair shot. I really tried. But within the first 15 minutes, I already wanted to leave. This wasn't Superman. It was a cheap imitation in a cheap suit written by people who clearly don't understand the character. If you followed my channel, you already know I've covered the in-depth history of Superman and the systematic destruction of his legacy over the past decade in my videos, The Rise and Fall of Superman. The link will be in the description. And I'm not the only one calling out. Neurotic nailed it a lot of what I was thinking. And I'll reference one of his points later. His full review is also linked below. But before we dig into this, just how bad is this new film? You need to understand why it matters. Now, for a brief recap on the history, Superman isn't just a hero. He's the reason why we have capes in the first place. Superman isn't just a hero. He's the reason we have capes in the first place. He was the first comic book superhero, and every other hero came from him. He set the mold. He created the standard. Everything that came after, Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, only exists because Superman did it first. Superman was created in Action Comics in 1930. So when I say this movie insults everything Superman represents, I'm not just speaking as a fan. I'm speaking as someone who understands the legacy they're gutting for profit. And once you understand what he meant to people, you see exactly how far this film falls from that standard. Let's break it down. What made Superman iconic wasn't just his powers. It was what he stood for. Truth, justice, the American way. Not just as a slogan, but as a code. Hope, strength, restraint. He was the immigrant story done right. A refugee from a dying world. Adopted by farmers. Raised on American values, choosing to serve, not conquer. Now, they rewrote his origin. Jor-El allegedly sent him to Earth to dominate, to take over, build a harem. And I'm not making this up.
The people are simple and profoundly confused, weak of mind, spirit, and body, lord over the planet as the last son of Krypton. Dispatch of anyone unable or unwilling to serve you, Kal-El. Take as many wives as you can so your genes and Kryptonians' might and legacy will live on in this new frontier. Do us proud, our beloved son. Rule without mercy.
Instead of a refugee who came one of us, they turned Superman into a galactic colonizer. That's not just disrespect, it's sabotage. Dean Cain, who played Superman in the 90s, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, called this out. And the media came for him like he was some outdated relic. But he was right. Superman was never about modern identity politics. He was about adopted virtue, earned strength. And if you think that's bad, wait until you see how little Superman even matters in his own movie. This movie is called Superman, yet somehow he's barely in it. This is how it starts. Off-screen defeat. He's already been beaten before we even know what's going on. Just some wall text before the movie starts. No first flight, no moment of truth, just crash. Then they drop the Justice Gang with zero setup, no origin, no connection to Clark. Just here they are. Oh, and they also show the Hall of Justice in this movie. The symbol Superman and Batman built together in classic lore. And this, it's just another government building casually handed over, legacy erased. It's a hollow shell of what it once was. But let me show you a moment from the past that captures exactly what this film forgot. Let's go back to 1978 and see how it should be done.
I better get a coat. It might be kind of cold up. No, I mean, I need a person. I have to fix my hair and some blush on.
Lois, there's something I have to tell you. I'm really... I was, at first, really nervous about tonight.
Reeve didn't need CGI or a speech. He shifted his body language, his posture, changed his voice to speak with more confidence, and became Superman. That's the duality. He's not pretending to be Superman. He's pretending to be Clark. He chooses Clark. He chooses humility. He chooses humanity. That's what this new film can't understand. Clark barely shows up. And when he does, he's emotional, insecure, soft. He's not a pillar. He's a filler. And stripping away his strength isn't just rewrite. It's dismantling of everything that made him who he was. They didn't just weaken him. They humiliated him. This Superman gets rescued by his dog. Not once, but is a major plot point. More than once. Neurotic was right. They turned Superman into a background character in his own movie. Even the Justice Gang treats him like a liability. The government hands him over to Lex, who we all know hates him, and nobody questions it. And don't even get me started on his parents. The Kents, the foundation of his moral compass, are reduced to punchlines. Bumbling, confused, barely coherent. Mocking blue-collar America like it's a joke. And it's all part of a bigger issue. A deliberate war on the values that made Superman matter in the first place. This wasn't just lazy storytelling. It was intentional. Superman used to be the ideal American. That was the whole point. He arrived as a stranger and chose to belong. This movie paints him as an alien outsider who never really fits, distrusted, controlled, mocked. They made Lois bitter. They made Clark passive. And they made Krypto the MVP. What message does this send? And then Supergirl shows up sounding hungover. Apparently red planets make her feel drunk now. That's what they went with? That's the final note of the film. Not hope, not redemption, but buzz Supergirl. And it still somehow gets worse. One of the laziest plot points for me in the entire movie, the public's opinion of Superman. At this point in the movie, this movie was supposed to be 3 years into his term as Superman. Lex releases one message, allegedly from Jor-El, and suddenly the world hates Superman. No one questions it, and nobody asks where Lex got it. Somehow they're able to confirm that it's Kryptonian, even though nobody speaks Kryptonian, except for Superman. And then when the world's ending, they flip again. They cheer. No arc, no development, just empty plot turns. All of a sudden they love Superman just because he saved the world again, but they got mad because of what his father said, even though he showed that he wasn't that person. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Superman isn't leading the story. He's being dragged through it. And the moment you call it out, the media and actors reveal exactly what they think of fans like you and me. They mocked Superman, and Dean Cain called it out. Cain defended the real Superman, not a fragile alien. Not a walking apology, but a man who chose good, who chose restraint. And the media lost it, because the truth offends them more than their disrespect they're feeding us. Which leads to one final insult, one aimed directly at the audience.
It is exactly what the movie is about, I think, that like we support our people, you know? We love our immigrants. Yes, Superman is an immigrant, and yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants, and if you don't like that, then you're not American.
James has said that Superman is an immigrant story, that it is political. MAGA today was getting a little upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
Somebody needs a hug. It's just a movie, guys. It's just a movie.
This is how they see us. You speak up, you're un-American. You criticize, you're too sensitive. They rewrite legends, erase values, then mock the people who care. But here's the thing. Superman was never theirs to twist. Hollywood could slap a cape on anyone they want. They can rewrite origins, neuter legends, and mock the fans. But they can't erase what Superman is. He was never meant to reflect culture. He was meant to elevate it. Not a mouthpiece, a model. Not fragile, firm. The world still needs Superman. And just not their Superman. We need the one who stands his ground, who flew toward danger, who believed in truth even when the world didn't. And no matter how many times they bury him, the people that care will keep digging him out. Christopher Reeve made us believe a man could fly. This one made us wonder why they even bothered.